Right, so I've just finished watching the IMMAF Amateur World Championships. I had a fighter who got to the final. That is Charlie Lynch-Spence from Morley. He's over there in Uzbekistan with his dad. He was in a category of 32 people, and so that meant he had to win 5 fights. So from Tuesday to Saturday, fighting every day, he had to win them all if he wanted to become world champion. So today was the final. So he won his first 3 fights, and then the semi-final fight, the opponent was not medically cleared. So if you've had like a bit of a war, because you're fighting every day, sometimes they'll give you like a 30-day ban so that you're not getting too much head trauma. So that happened to his opponent. It might have been an injury, it might have been head trauma, I don't know. So that put Charlie then in the final, which was today. So I thought I'll get a live stream. I actually went live on my Instagram, just to so all my other students and stuff could watch it live. And yeah, it was a very, very good fight. He fought a guy from Tajikistan. Charlie is a very good striker. Yeah, good at punching, kicking, knees. And his opponent tried to take him down a couple of times, managed to sort of get him down, but Charlie jumped straight back up. Charlie was landing some very good strikes. And it was close, don't get me wrong, but it was Charlie who was pushing the pace. He was the one always striking, always working. Even if he ended up in a bad position, he would constantly be trying to escape. And then when he got good positions, he was like, when he had his opponent against the fence, he was constantly trying to take him down, trying to take his back. He was the one trying to progress all the time. His opponent did get a good position a couple of times. He got Charlie against the fence and he got on top of Charlie at one point, but he was just holding. He wasn't really advancing. He wasn't really trying to finish the fight per se. Charlie, especially in the last round, Charlie landed some big left hands and wobbled him. But it was close, and it's like, how do the judges, like usually with these tournaments, it's wrestling, you know, the wrestlers just take the people down and hold them, and you know, that's kind of how it goes in these tournaments because you're fighting every day. So Charlie being a striker, getting stoppages and, you know, trying to piece people up, it's unheard of really in these tournaments. This tournament style of fighting, it's a little bit of a different style. But again, he got to the final, put in a massive performance. We all thought that he'd done enough, but it was just down to the judges. So they read the scorecards out: 30-27, 29-28, and 29-28. And then they said in the blue corner, which Charlie was dressed head to toe in blue shorts, blue rash guard, blue gloves, blue shin pads. In the blue corner, we all went crazy. I went crazy on the live. And yeah, we've got another world champion from the gym, from Morley in Leeds, from Yorkshire. We've got a world champion. He's 21 years old. You know, the world's his oyster kind of thing. We were all absolutely buzzing, you know, that the judges got it right. They saw that he was the one who was dominating. He was the one putting the pressure on, trying to win, pushing forward. And then when they do the little, after each final, they do like the podium, first, second, third, like the Olympics. They play the national anthem of the winner. So they're all lined up in the podium, and then they move Charlie to, you know, Charlie's ready to step up on the block for first place, and then they move him to second, put the Tajikistan guy in first, and then they just get them all on the podium and play the Tajikistan national anthem. So at the podium, they swapped it. They actually said there's been some kind of miscalculation, which is bonkers. Like at this level, the IMMAF, which is, you know, a rival to, think about the Olympics, you know, this is the kind of organisation we're talking about. And yeah, to say there's been a miscalculation, like at the end of the fight, Charlie's already been made the winner. He is world champion, and then just to kind of snatch it away from him like that, swap it round, you know, saying there's a miscalculation. You've got 3 judges, you've got 2 guys. It's not like they both got similar names from similar countries. You know, you got Charlie Lynch-Spence against a guy from Tajikistan with, you know, an Eastern European name. You've got these 2, you know, the names are completely different. They look different. One of them is dressed head to toe in red. One of them is dressed head to toe in blue. I just think, yeah, it's a massive disappointment. I don't know what... I guess there's nothing that can be done about it. Obviously, there's questions that need to be asked. But I just think it, yeah... I feel sorry for Charlie. You know, we're all gutted, but it's... Charlie, who was in there, he was announced as the world champion. 5 minutes later to have it just ripped away from him. I feel for him. Yeah, IMMAF got a lot to answer for, and yeah, it's just a bad situation overall. But you know, at the end of the day, Charlie's got there. He's in the final. He's won in most of our eyes. He'll probably turn pro now. He's 21 years old. His record's 15-2. That's what I announced it as, because he was 14-2 going into this final. So he should be 15-2. He might be 14-3. That's what his record might say. But yeah, absolutely bonkers. I'm sure the IMMAF are going to put some kind of statement out, but whether we can, I guess there's no way to appeal it or anything like that. It is what it is. But yeah, just a massive high thinking we've got a world champion in the gym, our 4th world champion, and then just to have it taken away, just, yeah, just shit. So let me know what you think. You know, what could the IMMAF have done in that situation? You know, should have been on the podium in first place, and then maybe a conversation be had afterwards? I don't know. Yeah, but fair play to his opponent. It was a good fight. It was a close fight, and yeah, I'll see what comes of it. But hold your head up high, Charlie. You went in there. You're a warrior. You did your job. You know, you can't be responsible for the failures of other people around you. Enjoy the rest of your time there in Uzbekistan. Well done to Malik also, who was fighting out of our gym. He got a split decision loss in the quarterfinals. So he didn't make it to the medals this time. He was last year's silver medalist. But Malik will also be turning pro. He's already signed to PFL, one of very, very few amateurs who are already signed to that organisation. So, yeah, that's it. I just wanted to come on and just express myself. Yes, express my unhappiness with the IMMAF. And but at the same time, I don't want this to throw any shade on Charlie. Charlie's done his job. He's gone out there and he's, yeah, we all thought he'd won. Or we all thought he'd done enough to win. It was down to the judges. The judges told him he'd won, and then they've reversed that decision. There's definitely been some mistakes and stuff made on their side. So, yeah, bit of an anticlimax really. So, mad one. But again, it is what it is. Lots more conversation to be had after this. But if you watch the fight, let me know how you think the fight went. And yeah, and what you think the IMMAF could have done to deal with this, because it is a mad situation. And yeah, I mean, I've seen it happen on like smaller events, but at this level, you know, world championship, super highly organised. You know, they're pushing to try and get MMA in the Olympics under the IMMAF banner. Yeah, it's just not good, is it? So anyway, that's it. If you're wondering about this is a nice painting that someone did of me. I don't know the person. They're from Doncaster. They saw a picture of me online. This is from my pro boxing debut. There was a photo that my friend Jamie Lee Smith caught while I was landing an uppercut, and somebody online saw that photo. This is years ago, actually. This has been just stuck in this shed. So I thought I'd bring it down as a bit of a background instead of just some shitty mats on the wall. But yeah, somebody painted that. It's a bit like the, you know, the final scene in Rocky where they both land a punch and they make it into a painting. Kind of like that. But yeah, it's me landing an uppercut in my pro boxing debut. Barnsley Metrodome. Many, many years ago. I can't even think what year it would have been. Maybe 2012, something like that. Yeah, so long time ago. Yeah, 12 years ago. But it's pretty cool, yeah. Somebody, a lady, should I say, called Angie Wright, who is a very good painter from Doncaster, just did it. Someone told me they'd seen the painting, so I went and took it off her hands. So, yeah. Anyway, that's it. Just wanted to come on and talk about the IMMAF and that situation. Bit of a mad one, but well done to everybody who competed. I do think the IMMAF style, I do like the IMMAF amateur style. I think that all amateur fights should be that same style. Shin pads, rash guards, big gloves, and competing as often as you can, whether that's competing Friday, Saturday, Sunday across a weekend or competing every couple of weeks. I think it's a much better format. Like amateur boxing, amateur boxers, they turn pro when they've had 50, 60 fights. We've got amateur fighters in the UK in MMA, they're having 2 or 3 fights and turning pro. So I think, yeah, there's a lot to be said about the style, you know, using that kind of, say, model in MMA, using that England boxing model for MMA, because that's how they get these top level boxers. They bring them through the ranks, through the amateurs. I think we've got a lot to learn, but at the same time, the IMMAF, you've got a lot to fucking learn as well.